to the Tink and Bobble podcast. My name is Sierra. I'm the maker behind Tink and Bobble. You can find me on Instagram as Tink and Bobble as well. Yeah, I said that right. All the places you can find me and everything I mention in this video will be linked down below. And yeah, this is a knitting podcast. It has been many moons since I last filmed and uploaded a knitting podcast. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you probably know why I've been gone for so long. For those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, I will just fill you all in. I think my last episode went up on March 12th or something like that. And then at the end of March, beginning of April, my husband and I found out that we were pregnant. And so I was going through all of the first trimester woes. I was super tired. Not crazy sick, but I was really tired and just had like no motivation. So I wasn't knitting and I obviously wasn't filming or anything. And then at the beginning of this month, the beginning of June, we found out that we had lost our baby. So this is our second miscarriage for me and my husband. So obviously we were going through that whole grieving process. We still are. But that's why I was gone for so long. Thank you so much for all of you who do follow me on Instagram and have been so sweet and kind to me and my husband during this time. It seriously means the world to me. We have so many loving and supportive people in our lives right now, and we are so grateful. And we know that it's because of you all of your love and support and prayers, and obviously because of the Lord that we've been able to get through this experience and like maintain a level of joy and peace through the whole thing. So I just wanted to say that right off the bat, that I'm so grateful to all of you guys, and it seriously has meant the world to me to read your sweet comments and messages. So that's where I've been. I wasn't knitting like at all for probably 2 straight months, and within the last couple of weeks I have picked it up again full force. As you will see in this episode, I have a lot to share with you. I think this is probably going to be a longer episode. I know I usually talk really fast, so my episodes end up being shorter than I think they're going to be, but I really do have a ton of things to share with you. So let's get started. Let's do this thing. I'm super rusty. Also, I'm in a new area. I'm sitting on my couch right now, which is like a half-built DIY couch that we will soon be getting rid of because I can't stand it. But I have all kinds of pillows behind me. That's where we're sitting. I'm sure the lighting is probably not the best, but I was procrastinating on filming because it's been so long, so it's like hard to get back into the groove, and I was like, I just want to sit on my couch and be comfortable for this episode to get back into it. So I've got a blanket. I'm like all bundled up like it's the middle of winter. It's not. It's the end of June. It's very hot outside, but I keep it cold in our apartment, so I'm all bundled up. But anyways, all that to say, hello, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad I'm filming again. Let's get into the knitting. So, first we'll start with finished objects. I'm wearing 2 of them, but I have 3 total. So, I'll take this one off so I can show you my first one. My first finished object, I haven't looked back at the last episode I filmed, so I have no idea what you all have seen and what you haven't seen. I'm pretty sure I had started this when I filmed the last episode, but this is my Paloma sweater by Espace Tricot. It's a raglan, an oversized raglan sweater with this really pretty twisted rib detail on the sleeves, and then there's twisted rib at the cuff and the collar and the hem at the bottom. I'll sit up a little bit so you can see it. This is it. This outfits me when I'm relaxed. My belly button's like up here, so this one's not cropped, but normally I tuck it in, but I'm wearing sweatpants, so yeah, I love it. I love the way it fits me. The sleeves are the perfect length. I like my sleeves to be long enough for me to grab them. I'm a sleeve grabber, so the sleeves ended up perfect. I love the twisted rib. This one does have short rows in the back to raise up the collar, and I saw in the project pages on Ravelry that a few people were having this like bump issue on the back, and so I followed, I'll have it linked down below, but I followed someone's notes that they left on their Ravelry project page for how to change the short rows in the pattern so that it didn't like bubble up back here. And as you can see, it doesn't really bubble. It bubbles a little bit in the front right there, but not really at all in the back, and this doesn't bother me. So I knit this out of Explore Knits and Fibers Rockies DK base in the color Duomo, which is just the most perfect color ever. And I knit the size 2, I think, which is a 46.75 inch bust. I'm pretty sure I have a 35 inch bust, but my boobs did grow while I was pregnant, so I haven't remeasured to see if that's actually still my bust size, but everything I knit today, I knit off the assumption that I have a 35 inch bust. So this gives me a lot, as you can see, of positive ease. It's like 11, 12 inches of positive ease. And I like oversized sweaters, so this is so comfy. I've worn it a couple times already, and I just love it. I don't know if there's anything else to say about it. I think I knit it using the recommended needle sizes. Knit the size 2. Yeah, I love it. It's so beautiful, and this yarn is so soft, and I'm very happy with it. So that's my first finished object. My second one I actually don't have here to show you because it was a gift, and it has long been given? It was given to the recipient a long time ago. I don't know what's happening with my bandana back here. But I knit an outline tank by Jessie Maed Designs, which if you've been watching for a while, you know I've been planning to knit this tank for over a year. And I had the yarn for this tank for over a year. But this spring I finally knit it, and I sent it to my sister-in-law for her birthday. I knit the size 2, let me see, I have my notes on my iPad here. I knit the size 2, which is a 35.5 inch bust. I'm not exactly sure how big my sister-in-law's bust size is, but I know she's a little bit smaller than me. So I knit the size 2, 35.5 inch bust. I used size US 3 and 4 needles. I'm pretty sure that's what's called for in the pattern as well. And I knit it out of Knit Picks Lindy chain in Sagebrush, which is a cotton linen blend. And I'll insert a picture of the tank top here. I don't have a picture of it on her, but I have a picture of it laying out on the blocking mats that I took when I finished it. And yeah, I sent that off to her. I think that's all there is to say about that one. I'm sure I'm probably forgetting things to mention about all of these projects because it's been so long since I filmed and I am very out of practice. So that was my second finished object. My last finished object I was wearing at the beginning of the video. This is, I don't think I had even started this last time. No, I know that I hadn't. I started this project when I found out that I was pregnant, and I finished it a few weeks ago. So this is my Plumpy shawl by Andrea Mowry. Let me see if I have this. It's upside down and it's huge, so I'm not going to be able to show it all in the frame at once. Ugh. Can you see it? All the way over here. Oh my gosh, it's so big and glorious. I love it. This is knit out of DK weight yarn, and it's garter and brioche, so it's the squishiest thing ever, and I just freaking love it. I'm so obsessed. I knit this out of Woolberry Fiber Co. and Explore Knits and Fibers for like my two favorite dyers. They're just the best. And I knit it out of, the lighting isn't great, so I'm sure this isn't going to be super color accurate, but this is all in their Cashmere DK bases, so that makes it even more squishy and soft and amazing. This is Woolberry in White Sands National Park, and then the pink that's like all throughout the shawl. Let me find a solid. Is there a solid pink section? I don't think so, but I can show you right here. The pink is Woolberry in Pink Canyon. This is Woolberry October. And then this yellow, green, grello, lovely golden shade is Explore Knits and Fibers in Pollen, which you will see again in this episode because I'm obsessed with this color. So, I love this. It's huge and amazing and wonderful. I did run out of a couple of colors. I ran out, let me see if I can find places where I ran out. I ran out of Pollen, I think. Yes, I ran out of Pollen right here. You can see I switched in the middle of a row to the White Sands color. I think, I'm going to have to look back at it. I don't know that I took detailed notes, but I think I took out one repeat of this brioche garter section in the Pollen because I knew that I was running out of this color. So I took out one section and just like fudged the increases and decreases to make the stitch counts work for the sections. And then in this last section with White Sands, I ran out of White Sands. And so I finished it off with my leftovers of October. So you can see, let me see if there's a better way to show you. There we go. In this last brioche section, I ran out of White Sands, so I just finished it off with October. And I don't mind how it looks at all. I was not mad about using more of the October colorway because it's so gorgeous. So, yeah, I just finished it off there with that. And I love it so much. I would put it back on because normally it's freezing in here, but I did turn the air conditioning off so that it wouldn't be loud while I was filming. So I think I'm going to leave this off. But it's so pretty. I love it so much. I love the FO picture I took and posted on Instagram. I'll insert it right here. It just, oh, the colors and everything are just so good. And my husband actually wrapped himself up in it last night while we were watching TV because I've been keeping it on the back of this chair that we have in our living room. And yeah, it's just the squishiest, best thing ever. And I did knit that in DK. There's a sport weight version and a DK weight version. I think the sport weight version calls for three skeins, or 3 different colors, I should say. And the DK weight version calls for 4 colors, so I did the DK weight version. Did I say that that's by Andrea Mowry? Andrea Renee Knits? Oh my god. Guys, I'm so rusty. If I forget to say things, just know that all the important information is in the description box below with links to everything and yada yada yada. Okay? Okay. That is my last finished object. Moving on to whips. I do have one half finished object. I finished one of my Nutcracker socks. So I think I had started these last time as well. This yarn is Sewrella yarn in the Tchaikovsky colorway, and then the mini is in the colorway Bear, which, fun fact, is what we named our son. Anyways, I think I had started these last time. I wasn't following a pattern, I just did a basic ribbed sock, so I did 20 rounds on the cuff of 2x2 ribbing, and then the main part of the sock is in 3x1 ribbing. I'm pretty sure I did 80 rounds for the leg, heel flap, and gusset, and then I did the ribbing on the top of the sock and stockinette on the bottom, and then a rounded toe. And oh, this colorway is so pretty. There's probably going to be a shadow because of how I have my lighting, but it's so gorgeous. All these shades of pinks and green and this goldish color. I love it. So I finished the first sock, and I have started the second one. I'm just past the cuff, and I have a little progress keeper on here from Hello Lavender. So yeah, hopefully, I kind of lost my sock knitting mojo, but I have picked it back up again. So I'm hoping to finish these soon because I have another pair of socks that I want to cast on soon, and I will tell you about those in a little bit. that is my half finished object. I do have it in my summer sock camp bag from Stolen Minutes from last year. I'm not really participating in summer sock camp right now, like not intentionally, but since it is summer and these are socks, I put it in this bag. Okay, I should say, I'm knitting this on US 1 9-inch circular needles. I think that's a 2.25 millimeter, and I do 64 stitches for my socks. So that's those. My next whip you will have seen as well, I think, but I don't know how far I have gotten on it. This I started, well, let me tell you about it first. This is the Stria cardigan by Andrea Mowry of Drea Renee Knits. Here's how it's looking so far. You can see all of my ends. These are going to be a disaster to weave in, but that's okay. You know, that's alright. Unfortunately, I couldn't do the weave and Steven method or knit over my ends on this because it's in half fisherman's rib and just the way that you join the colors. I couldn't knit over my ends, so I'm going to have to weave them all in, but that's alright. This is the Stria cardigan. I started this for Andrea Mowry's March to May knit along and clearly did not finish it by the end of May because I barely knit at all in April and May. But here we go. I've gotten about yay far along the body. I think I have to knit to 8 inches from the sleeve separation. I honestly have no idea how far I've knit already. I haven't measured it, but I love it. I'm calling this my hunting sweater because my husband is a hunter and these colors are all like hunting nature forest inspired. So the main color is Oyster Heather, and then I have 4 contrast colors. This one is Lynx Heather, Doe, as in doe, a deer, Bison is this dark brown, and then Douglas Fir is the deep green. And I love it. I'm so excited. I have to finish the body and then do the sleeves, and then I'll pick up and knit a button band around the collar and down the front. And eventually I'll have to find buttons, but you know what? I'm not really in a rush to finish this anymore since I didn't get it finished for the knit along. So I'm just kind of knitting on it whenever I want. But I will say, this fisherman's rib is so squishy. I told you the colors, but I didn't tell you where the yarn is from. I'm knitting this out of Knit Picks palette, which is 100% wool. I can't remember what kind of wool, but fingering weight. I'm knitting this on size US 3 needles, and I'm knitting the size 3, which is a 39.75 inch bust, which should give me about 4 to 5 inches of positive ease. So that's that one. Again, I feel like I'm forgetting things on every project I mention, but that's alright. A new cast on that you all haven't seen that I'm super excited about. I had this yarn in stash, and I had plans for each of the colors to become different things, but then this pattern came out a little while ago, and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and so I decided to use this yarn for this instead. And it is the Great Gingham Raglan by Jessie Maed Designs. I'll insert a picture of it here. I should have brought over my finished sleeve, but I have finished one sleeve and started on the second one, and this is what it's looking like. Oh, it's so good. I'm so excited about it. And I am knitting this out of Explorer Knits and Fibers in her Denali sock base in the colorways Pollen and Serengeti National Park. And there's shadows and stuff, but oh, I'm so excited. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. This is a sport weight pattern, and I'm knitting it up in fingering weight, so my gauge is not super spot on. I'm kind of a tighter knitter anyways, and this is a smaller weight yarn, so I figured that my gauge would be tighter than what's called for in the pattern, and it is. I don't remember specifics, but I'm just going to knit a size larger than I normally would, so I'm knitting the size large, which is a 47.5 inch bust, which would normally give me like 12.5 inches of positive ease, but again, my gauge is tighter, so it's going to be less than that. But anyways, I love this so much. This color work is so addicting. Here you can see. It's fun because you can try the sleeve on, but oh my gosh, I love it so much. I'm so excited to have this finished. I do have one sleeve finished. I think I said that already. I just love it. I don't even know what to say. I just love it so much. I'm knitting this on the recommended needle sizes, so she calls for you to go up a size on the sleeves because typically people knit tighter on their sleeves, and I just went ahead and did that. I'm not sure if I knit tighter on my sleeves, but I'm just doing what she calls for. So I'm knitting the sleeves on a US 7, and then the body will be on a US 6, and all of the ribbing is on a US 4. I have these cute needle stoppers from Autumn and Poppy Designs, I think. I'll have them linked down below. And then I have another little flower stitch marker from Hello Lavender on here. And I'm holding it. Oh, I didn't mention my project bag before. My Stria cardigan is living in my mushroom project bag from, oh my gosh, why can't I think of who it's by? Paper Crane Yarns. Why? I have so many bags from Ashley. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name. This is in my mushroom bag from Paper Crane Yarns. It's got mushrooms on the outside. It's a drawstring, and the inside has this cute, I don't know if you can see it. It's like cloud pattern fabric. And then this project is in another mushroom bag. This is from Anomalous Designs, I think. Anomalous Mind. I'll have her link down below as well. She's on Etsy. And it probably has dog hair all over it, but it has these cute little mushroom houses and little squirrels and chipmunks and mice and little trees, and it's so cute. Okay, next is, hold on, oh, my allergies. My allergies have been so bad. They're usually bad in the spring and the fall, but it's the middle of summer. Not really the middle of summer, but it's summer, and my allergies have just decided to kick into high gear today. So I might have to take some pauses to sneeze, and my nose is so itchy, and my eyes are itchy, and my throat is itchy. Everything is itchy. So pardon the itching. The next two things actually are test knits, which is very exciting. If you've been watching or following me for a while, you know I did a handful of test knits last year, and then I took a pretty long break. I think the last test knit I did was in August of last year, and it is now the end of June. I kind of stopped doing test knits because I was focusing on gift knits for like Christmas and stuff, and then I just didn't really get back into it until now, but I'm so excited about both of the test knits that I'm doing. So this is the first one, and I actually have a lot of progress on it. I am testing the High Tide Shell Vest by Lindsey Fowler, or Larkspur Knits on Instagram, and I believe this pattern is going to be in her upcoming book that she's releasing in August, I think. I'm pretty sure it's available for pre-order right now. All details will be in the description box. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm testing this vest for her, and I am so excited about it. I've never knit a vest, and I decided to go full on like grandpa sweater vest mode with my color inspiration and everything. So here it is. Oh, it looks so good. This is a worsted weight pattern, and I am knitting it out of, I went stash diving for this. So this, the light creamy color, is Lion Brand yarn in their Woolies line, which I don't remember the composition of, but it is in the colorway Linen. And then the dark color, sometimes it looks black, sometimes it looks navy. The darkest color is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in Penguin. And then the brown, this like medium brown color, is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted in Camel Heather. and I love it. It has this split hem with the shorter hem in the front and longer hem in the back. I'll insert a picture of the finished object that Lindsey posted on her Instagram so you can see what the whole thing is going to look like, but it's knit bottom up, obviously, and it's using this really nice slip stitch motif, so it's so squishy. Squishy is like the theme of this episode. Everything is so squishy, and I just love it. I'm going to have this big, oversized, not crazy oversized, but oversized grandpa sweater vest, and I'm so pumped. So I'm knitting the size 5, which is a 44-inch finished chest circumference. So that's like 9 inches of positive ease for me. And I'm knitting this on the recommended needle sizes, which is a US 7 for the ribbing and 8 for the body. Oh, I just love it. It looks so good. I'm so excited. So that's test knit number 1. And then my last work in progress, which is also my second test knit. This is not living, my best is not living in a cute project bag. This is a basket from Target. My last work in progress is another test knit that I'm so excited about. I admire both of these designers so much, and I just feel so fortunate that I get to test for both of them, and the community of testers for both of these projects is just so great and wonderful, and I love it. That's like my favorite part of testing, is like it's like a little mini knit along with the other testers, and it's just so fun. So this one is living in my favorite project bag, which is technically a Christmas bag, but I use it all year round. This is by Cabana Berry Designs. Also on Etsy, I'll have her link down below. It's this cute little present bag with the trees on the inside. I love it. I think because it's quilted, I just love the texture of it and how it feels and like how sturdy it is. It stands up on its own, and I just love this bag. But I am testing the Alley sweater by Sarah Opie, or S-Knits on Instagram. I will insert a picture of it here, but I'm sure you all have seen it circling the internet. I'm so excited that I got selected to test this sweater. It's so beautiful, and of course I had to use some of Allie's yarn for Allie's sweater. So I found some Explore Knits yarn on D-Stash on Ravelry, and Kylee of Kylee Makes on Instagram, I'll have her link down below as well, sent me this yarn, and she also was so kind, not climbed, and included some little scraps of Duomo for me to try to use for the contrast color. So let me show you. I just started working on this last night. So this is the collar, and I am knitting this out of Explore Knits and Fibers Macchiato, which is from her Italy collection, and it's so pretty. Obviously the lighting here is not great, but I have pictures on my Ravelry of all of this yarn. Here it is in the skein. It looks really dark in the cake and light in the skein, but all of the skeins look really similar. But Explore Knits and Fibers Macchiato. This is the Rockies DK base, and this is what I'm using for my main color. And then for the contrast color in the yoke and the sleeves, I'm going to try to use the leftovers that Kylee sent me and the leftovers I have from this sweater of Duomo. So I think I have enough. I weighed this, and I think that I have enough for my size. So I'm going to go ahead and try to use this and hope that it works. If it fails, I did wind up some yarn that I have from Katelyn. Actually sent this to me. I want to give away of hers. Katelyn of the Cozy Muff Knits. This is Dream and Color yarn. Their smushy cashmere base in the Crying Dove colorway, and it's a fingering weight, so I would hold this double. And I think this is gorgeous, this combination of yarns. So if the Duomo does end up not working out, then I will use this, and I won't be sad about it because it's also beautiful. But I just think it would be fun to use all Explore Knits yarn for Allie's sweater, and Duomo is so gorgeous, and I think it would be really pretty with the macchiato. So I'm really excited about that. Again, I'm not very far. I just started the collar, but I am so pumped. I think this sweater is going to be so pretty, and I can't wait to wear it. I love this macchiato colorway. It's perfect for fall. So, I feel like I'm going to be really set this fall with a bunch of cute sweaters. So, yeah, that's my last whip. Now I have a giant mountain of whips over here. I'm like a tidy as I go type of person just in life, so I'm going to tidy up this pile of chaos over here before we get to the pile of chaos over here that is new yarn. Okay, we are tidied up. My eyes are so itchy and I've been rubbing them, so I hope they're not red. Whew, I feel like that was all such a blur, everything that I just said, and I don't know if any of the words that came out of my mouth made any sense whatsoever, but hopefully it was enjoyable to at least see my projects, and if you missed important information, again, for the millionth time, it'll be down below in the description box. So, let's move on to acquisitions. I have some very, very fun acquisitions. So, first, I'll go in order of when I received them. So first, I started out the year as a part of Paisley Knits, Kylee of Paisley Knits, her Yarn Club for the Gods monthly yarn club, and I was so excited about it. I was going to do the whole year and make a big blanket out of all the colorways for the whole year, a big crochet blanket, but unfortunately I had to cancel that club halfway through. Very sad. For financial reasons, medical bills, all that kind of stuff. So I had to cancel the club, and I didn't end up destashing a few of the skeins that I already had from that club, again, for financial reasons. And because I wasn't going to get to make the blanket, I didn't have like a project idea that would use all of the skeins that I already had. So I saved a couple of the skeins to make socks with, and the rest I destashed. So these are the two that I still have, and I don't think I've shown them on here yet. So first is Poseidon, which I had to keep, of course. If you are a Percy Jackson fan like myself, that's how I got into mythology, and I just find mythology so fascinating. But if you're a Percy Jackson fan, then you'll know Percy Jackson is Poseidon's son, so I had to keep Poseidon. It's so gorgeous. This lighting is not going to do this colorway justice, but it's so pretty. This is on her coastal sock base, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards, and this is going to be a pair of socks for my husband, most likely, maybe for both of us. I think I can get a pair of socks for both of us out of one skein of yarn if I don't knit a super long leg like I did on these. If I knit like to here on the leg, or maybe here, I'm pretty sure I can get a pair for both of us. If not, I will definitely make a pair for him and then maybe make a pair of shorties for myself. But this is Poseidon, and then this is Demeter. I'm pretty sure, yes, this is Demeter, and this is for me. It's so pretty. All these pinks and greens. It just reminds me of wildflowers, a field of wildflowers, and it's so gorgeous. Again, this is on her coastal sock base. And these are the two that I kept, and they're very special to me, and I wish so badly that I could have finished out the whole year. Breaks my heart, but you gotta do what you gotta do, you know. Life happens. It's just yarn. It'll be alright. I have two beautiful skeins to keep, and that's plenty. So those are my first acquisitions. These will become socks. And then next I participated in the pre-order of, I don't remember if this had already happened when I filmed last, but Woolberry Fiber Co. did a Downton Abbey collection pre-order, and I'm obsessed, newly obsessed with Downton Abbey, so I had to buy yarn. I also got, in that pre-order, these pretty scissors. I don't know if you can see like, there we go. They're so pretty, these little snips. I got these in that pre-order, and I got a bunch of yarn, all of it green. So I'll show you that now. So I got a skein of My Life's Work, which is, if you know the show, all the colorways were inspired by characters. This is Robert's colorway. He's not my favorite character, but the colorway was inspired by like the view of Downton Abbey, like in the opening scene and stuff. And so I got this just to represent Downton Abbey as a whole. Represent? I said that's so weird. Represent Downton Abbey as a whole. So I got one skein on Berry Sock, which is 80% superwash BFL and 20% nylon. Okay, it is a different day, different location, much better lighting. Honestly, maybe I should film here. My camera was being stupid. If you don't know, I film on my iPhone, and my iPhone is an iPhone 6S, so it's very old, and it has very little storage, and basically what happened was my camera let me keep filming up until I hit like 45 minutes, and then it cut me off, and so I was like, oh, okay, like I'll just upload this video, delete it off my phone, and then keep going. And when I went to go check the video, it was only 36 minutes long, so it cut off like 10 minutes of me talking. And then I tried to do it again, and it just was being stupid, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to give my phone a break and come back to it the next day. So here we are. Also, I think the sound is fuzzy on that all those earlier clips, so I really apologize. Fingers crossed that I get a new phone soon. That's the plan. We'll see what happens. It's such a mess. But anyways, I was talking about acquisitions. I think I already shared my Paisley Knits yarn, and I was talking about my Downton Abbey pre-order. So I think I had showed you that I got My Life's Work on Berry Sock, which is 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon. Oh, I love these speckles. They're so good. And I got it on Berry Sock, and I also got it on Berry Surrey, which is Surrey alpaca and silk. And these are going to become a pair of Hibernation House socks by Lindsey of Larkspur Knits, who I've already mentioned in this episode. I knit a pair of these for my sister-in-law last year for Christmas, so you may have seen them on the podcast before, but I'll insert a picture of them as well. But it's just they're like slipper socks-ish, but they have like a thick double, like a folded over cuff with the fuzzy yarn, and this held together, and then the foot of the sock is just out of the sock yarn. So that's what I'm planning to make with these, and possibly if I have enough leftovers, maybe a hat or something. I'm going to use all of this up because it's so special, and the Surrey is so soft. So, very excited about that. And then, the best part, I only have one skein over here, but I got a sweater quantity hiding back in there. I think you can see some of my yarn behind me. I got a sweater quantity of I'm Political, which is Tom Branson's colorway, and it is the most perfect green. It's so gorgeous, and this is on her Berry DK, which is 100% superwash merino, and oh my gosh, I just love it. Tom Branson is probably my favorite character in Downton Abbey. I love him so much, and I'm so excited. This is going to be a vertical striped sweater by Petite Knit. I'll insert a picture of it here. And I'm just so excited. Anybody else just love Tom Branson, like, just so much? Like, more than it just being like a crush thing. Like, I have a little bit of a crush on him, but more so it's just, I just love him so much as a person. Like, he's just so good. I love him. Okay, and then last but not least, I have my little thing sticking out here. It looks funny. I was so kindly given a gift card by from Kate of Red Door Fiber Studio, so that I could shop her Greatest Hits collection, which just released like a couple of weeks ago. It was a pre-order, but she had pre-dyed a ton of skeins, so I already got my order in, and I'm so excited. So all of my yarn is Avatar: The Last Airbender themed, and I'm so pumped. Josh and I are going to rewatch Avatar while I knit up these yarns, and I'm pretty excited about it. So, firstly, I got a skein of Appa, which is so perfect. This was the first colorway in the Greatest Hits collection to sell out. Look at that pink. Oh, it's so good. And the speckles. Oh, it's so good. And then there's like some soft blue. It's so pretty. And I got this on her bougie sock base, which is her 80-10-10 Super Rush Merino Cashmere Nylon. And it's so soft and squishy, just like Appa. And I love it so much. And then to hold with it, I got a skein of Yip Yip, which is this really beautiful pale pink in her mohair base. It's so fuzzy, as you can see I'm like losing fluff. Also, isn't her new branding is so cute. So these together are going to become an Oslo hat by Petite Knit. I'm very excited. I might have leftovers from this too to make something else, but I'm not sure. But that's definitely what these are going to be. A beautiful fuzzy hat. And then lastly, I got a Kyoshi Warrior sock set, which is so perfect. Look at these red speckles. So good. And then the mini skein is in the colorway Katana. And this is on her classic sock, which is 75-25 Super Wash Merino Nylon. And this is obviously going to be socks. I might try to make a pair of socks for Josh and myself out of this yarn. My pair might end up being a little shorter, but I'm pretty sure I can get a pair of socks for both of us out of one skein of yarn, depending on how long I knit the leg. So that'll be so exciting. And yeah, that is all of my acquisitions. I think I fit them all in here with the hodgepodge of clips that I'm having to work with. I shared a little bit about life updates at the beginning, but we're doing really well, and yeah, it's summer. I'm looking outside at the pool right now. I should have gone out there earlier before a bunch of people got in, but oh well. It's beautiful and warm here. My husband and I celebrated our 5-year wedding anniversary last weekend, which was kind of a big deal. I don't know, 5 just feels special. It's also like, it just feels crazy that we've been married for 5 years. We got married at the age of 21, so we're only 26, and we've already been married 5 years. But that was really nice. We went up to the lake. Joshua's uncle has a house up on a lake in northern Indiana, and it's one of our favorite places in the world, and so he let us stay there for our anniversary, so we went up there, and we kayaked and rode bikes and ate sushi and ice cream and played games, and it was so fun. We played, oh my gosh, we found this game in their game cabinet called Racko. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. We had never heard of it, but we pulled it out and decided to play it, and it was so much fun, and I think I'm going to have to order the game for us to have here at the house. It's only like $10 on Amazon, but it's so fun. So if you have heard of it, let me know, and if you haven't, you should totally go get it on Amazon and play it. I think it's like a 2 to 4 player game, but it was pretty fun. What else? I think that's it, honestly. It feels really good to be back. It was a little, not like nerve-wracking, but you know, when you're like away from something for a long time, then it's like hard to get back in the groove of it, but I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I'm back. I'm so excited to be back knitting and playing with yarn again. I missed it so much, and I missed you guys. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. Oh, I did want to also mention, fun thing that happened within the last few weeks is that I took a tech editing course from Jolie Kelly, the Learn to Tech Edit course. I'll have it linked down below. But I took that course a few weeks ago, and I have officially started tech editing. So that is super fun. If you're a designer, or you know of any designers who need their patterns tech edited, let me know. I'll have my tech editing email, as well as my email for the podcast, if you just have not tech editing related questions or anything you want to ask me. But I'll have all that information down below. But I'm really excited about that. It feels like really perfect and fun and exciting because I love knitting and I love math. I'm a huge math nerd. I feel like a lot of people don't know that about me, but I love math. I would keep my math textbooks from elementary school. Remember, they were like not like hardcover textbooks, and you could like rip pages out of them, and they had all those practice pages at the back. I would keep those and do them for fun during the summer. So yeah, I love math. I took AP Calculus in high school. I love math. So, feels really exciting. a mix of two things that I love. So, yeah. Also, if you're another tech editor, I would love to be tech editing friends. I want to make, what am I saying? I want to find other tech editor friends so that we can all refer each other and ask each other questions and all that kind of stuff. So if you're a tech editor, let me know and we can be tech editing buddies. And I think that's all. I'm going to stop rambling. I hope that this episode made sense. It feels like it was a bit of a hot mess, so we shall see. But regardless, it was a fun time, right? So, thank you for watching. Hopefully, I'll be back with another video in 2 weeks. And until then, happy knitting. Bye.